All right, take two. This hot sauce is so hot that my phone overheated, and then I had to stick it in the freezer for a bit. This is the first of the really hot. Like flavor is not secondary; it is at least tertiary. I don't use more than a few drops of this at any point. Like when I make, spaghetti sauce, I might put in several drops because I'm using quite a bit of the sauce. I'm making quite a bit of sauce. But with regards to the hamajang, like it's hot. It's very, very hot. Like this little thermometer here is like only for the pros. Yeah. Like I would never put more than perhaps a tablespoon in anything. And that's a lot. A tablespoon of that is a lot. Now, chocolate plague, one of the first super hots that I've ever had. This one is similar. I barely ever use it for anything. I put maybe like a teaspoon's worth of it into any kind of sauces. This is not something that I would generally put on a food that I'm automatically just going to eat, like a hot dog or a burger or anything like that. That's not going to happen, and it's because it's so goddamn hot. It uses the chocolate scorpion, I believe, chocolate Bootila. I don't even know how to pronounce that word. Bootla. Yeah, Bootla pepper. Chocolate Bootla pepper. Mash. Mash. It's not just normal pepper. It's mostly, look how thick that is. This is basically just pureed peppers. And it's one of the hottest peppers out there. It's from the Pucker Butt Farms. And these are the guys that made the Carolina Reaper and a number of others. I think Maruga Scorpion is another. Okay. Last dab. This is the Triple X. This is the third iteration of the last dab. I had the second one, the Redux. When I moved the last time coming in from the sober living to this like temporary sober living, this temporary sober living is where I had it. Oops, I'm putting my hand in front of the camera. But that's where I had that sauce, and then I guess somebody stole it out of the fridge or something because it wasn't there when it was time for me to move, even though it had been there for days. And I mean, again, it has an interesting flavor to it, but like I'll admit, chocolate plague, I can barely taste flavor, and it's not torturous like Da Bomb is, for instance. Da Bomb is stupid. It's torture in a bottle, literally. I can tell that there's flavor to, like, there's more than just heat with regards to the chocolate plague, but it is so overwhelming for me that I can't really appreciate anything else beyond it. The interesting thing about the last dab, whether it's the triple X. Okay, so it says it has, oh god, the text is so small I can't even read it. And the lighting in here isn't all that great. But it just says Pepper X, and then, oh, Chocolate Pepper X. So apparently, it's another strain of the pepper. And the same with, we've got here the Apollo pepper. So apparently this is just a different pepper entirely. The Apollo pepper distilled vinegar, the Apollo pepper powder, the Apollo pepper distillate. So this one is just a triple layer threat of that specific pepper. That said, I don't feel as if I'm in so much pain as I am with the chocolate plague. I feel like the chocolate plague is literally the hotter one, even though of the two last dabs, they're supposedly with the hottest peppers in the world. That said, they're both so goddamn hot. I've actually made hot wings with, well, it was with the Redux, not with the triple X. The Redux was still pretty painful. I would probably do the same with those too. Again, it's one of those situations where like I would only do it because I'm trying to screw around. I'm not trying to have, like, there's flavor to it, but the flavor isn't something that is it's definitely not forward. Like I said, with the chocolate plague, it is not just pain. It's mostly pain. But it doesn't feel like it's only specifically intended to inflict pain. It does have food qualities, not just texture and whatnot. There's flavor to it. It's not a flavor that I personally am like, go ahead and throw that on a taco or something. No, of course not. You know, I might actually do that with Triple X though, and with the Apollo. Like, there's something about the chocolate plague that it feels like it's actually the hotter pepper, really. There's something about its qualities. I don't know why. I don't know what. It's a great painful sauce, and it's literally my first major foray into super hots. And I think part of it is that experience, but also there's kind of almost a sentimentality to it. It's stuck with me since I first started buying these sauces. Like these three right here, I have repurchased over and over and over again because they're just that delicious. This is, I think, the first time I've ever had this one. It's not bad. It's not something that I would keep regularly. This one would be if it were cheaper. I don't remember exactly how expensive it was, but most of these are going to be somewhere between $8. I believe this one was $22. I believe this one was $18. If I'm not mistaken, I think this one was $20. Like, these guys over here, I think they were in the high teens, like 16 to 18. This one was probably about 14, so 12 or 14, I don't remember. I've had the various Hot Ones sauces. The only Hot Ones sauce that I have not had, there's two of them, in fact. The only two Hot Ones sauces that I have not ever had were the very first, like the Chipotle Hot Ones sauce that they had. That was like in the middle, and now they have the Los Calientos. I've had all the Los Calientos, except for like the weird special edition versions that they made that were like some weird shtick thing that they were doing. Like, we accidentally put this pepper into this one. Like, whatever, I don't care. But I just finished off the Barbacoa Los Calientos, really good. The original is still my favorite. Like, I've had, what is it, the red pepper one? I can't remember what it's called. Had that one, but the original is still one of the best hot sauces I've ever had. And I mean of Los Calientos, not of the Chipotle. Chipotle I've never had. And then also the other, like, actual hot sauce that they have that I've never had is the original Last Dab. I've never had that one. Beyond that, and you might say, well, is this an ad for hot sauce, or are you just like a super fan or something? I'm like, I'm not really a super fan. There's been times where I'm like, maybe I'll try it out. I've got the money, I can kind of throw it at it. And, it's like, when I say, well, it's $22 for a bottle of hot sauce. Yeah, it's expensive. But how much does it cost to go to a movie? And you get that movie once. Whereas I get a bottle of hot sauce that's $22 that lasts me years, potentially. And, I put it in stuff. I don't always put it in stuff. I usually put the stuff that I really like into stuff. But that's kind of like the investment nature of these hot sauces. It's like I'm buying these things that have longevity to them, even though they are, for what they are, kind of pricey. But I mean, like these 4 bottles right here, I've had them. I've never replaced them. I've had them since I originally bought them. Now, of course, they're all relatively new. The oldest, of course, is the Chocolate Plague. But, like, I've already had a pretty good time with this hotter than L stuff. It's pretty flavorful. It's hot. Which is why I stick towards this middle ground. And that's why I say these guys deserve that middle and not this one. This one has, again, virtually no flavor. But if you are a sensitive person to hot sauces, I get it. I totally understand. That said, it is past 4:30 p.m. I woke up at around 7 this morning, but not because I wanted to. Because the sun came through and somebody made a loud bang, and then I couldn't sleep because the light kept blasting me in the face, and I hadn't really gotten to sleep until I think closer to 2. So I woke up pretty groggy as it was, and I stayed in bed for like another 2 hours, and finally got out of bed at 9:30, and I haven't really done anything today, because I have to figure out where to, like, obviously I've got to DMV for the written test, but when I went online to do the thing set up for it, it was like, service is not available. And I'm like, what do you mean? So I probably am going to have to go literally to the DMV itself and hope that I can get the written test and or figure out how to go about doing what I got to do. So, but today, I mean, it's like I said, it's almost 5 o'clock. I got some dishes I got to clean up at some point, and then I'll probably go to the store first, though, because I'm just feeling that lazy. Hopefully the hot sauce tour was something anybody cared about. I'm sure nobody cared about. Nobody watches this, but whatever. Have fun.